is your name? How old are you, Summer? You're 7. And what grade are you in?
First grade.
In first grade. How is first grade?
Good.
Yeah?
Mhm.
What kind of things you learning in first grade?
Pluses.
Pluses and minuses?
I did time today for homework.
You did time today for homework? Wow, that's really good. What's your favorite part about school?
Recess.
Yeah,
See,
lots of.
that's the only time I get to spend with you.
Okay. And you like to play with your friends?
Yes.
Now, do you have the same friends that you did in kindergarten?
Kind of.
Kind of. So, why did you decide to hold Summer back in kindergarten?
Because she was not ready to move forward and she was at the bottom of her class, and I felt like if we moved her forward that we were going to set her up for failure, and her birth date was on the cusp where I could go either way with it. So I thought the more time she had studying, the better.
Mm.
So we
And what was the school's reaction? Guys, shh.
the school she was going to attend did not want us to do that. They wanted to push her forward, and I had to go back and forth and say that, you know, if they're not willing, that I'd send her to private school because they would do it. Um, with hearing that, then they decided that, okay, well, what's the harm in it? Because there really was none.
While much of the existent research shows that holding children back generates no benefits for the retainee's academic performance, holding low achieving children back has been a popular practice for decades. This study drew on a recently collected nationally representative data set in the US, estimating the causal effect of repeating kindergarten on the retained children's academic performance. Holding children back in kindergarten was found to have positive effects on their academic performance, but only up to third grade. Once children hit third grade, the positive effects tend to diminish, and children come back to the mean of their classroom.
The kids who are born closest to the cutoff date, who are relatively speaking the eldest in their class, have a small but not insignificant advantage, not just in first grade, but throughout their schooling history.
Gladwell cites the work of economist Elizabeth Dewey at the University of Toronto, who analyzed the data of hundreds of thousands of students in 19 countries. Even as late as the 8th grade, the older kids had higher test scores than their classmates. She believes that's because the older kids got more attention from the start.
They're just older, but they look more able, so they get in the higher reading group in kindergarten, so they learn how to read a little better. And then in first grade, they know how to read a little better, so they're put in the higher reading group again. And then they know how to read a little better in first grade, and it perpetuates over time.
She says the data also show that older kids are more likely to attend college. And then there's the issue that haunts so many parents: popularity.
I have a study looking at leadership effects, and I find that if you're relatively old in kindergarten, and that you're more likely to be a high school leader, a sports team captain, a club president. And so I think a lot of this works in this confidence boosting leadership kind of capacity.
When you've completed this, dare I say, rather arcane university study, did you think it would get the kind of attention it got?
No, not at all. Not at all.
But if you had a 5-year old, would you hold him back?
If they were the very youngest, probably.
Another study, which attempts to uncover the benefits or drawbacks from delaying children's enrollment into kindergarten, found that entering kindergarten a year older significantly boosted test scores at kindergarten entry. More importantly, entering older implied a steeper test score trajectory during the first 2 years in school. Results also suggest that the benefits from delaying kindergarten entrance tend to be significantly larger for at-risk children. And have you seen any of the benefits from doing it so far? It's still kind of early, but
Yes, but absolutely, because she's still at this point a mid-level student. So if she was a year ahead, I think she'd be at the bottom again, and that would have been wrong choice.
Yeah. And have you seen it like reflect on her overall mood towards school?
She has a little more confidence, I think, than if she didn't do it.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff that she repeated that she still needs help with, but at least she feels more comfortable
Right.
doing now.
So have you had any concerns about the decision afterwards? Like, do you still have any?
No, 100% was the perfect choice for us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Who are the same friends?
Emma and Victoria and Alexis and the other Emma.
And are they all in first grade with you?
One was. The rest was only one person wasn't. She's Emma, and she wasn't in kindergarten with me, but she's in first grade with me, and she repeated first grade.
Oh, okay. And so you repeated kindergarten. And how is that?
Good.
Yeah. Have you done better in school this year, you think? Do you think it's because of that, or yeah? And if you could, would you have repeated kindergarten, or would you just stay normal?
Stay normal.
You would have stayed normal. You wouldn't have repeated kindergarten?
No, so I would be in second grade right now.
No.
I would be in second grade anyway.
We will never know if Summer would have performed just as well or even better had she not been held back an extra year in kindergarten. A lot of the research suggests that there really aren't any long-term positive effects of holding children back as far as their academic performance is concerned. However, there has been shown to be a significant amount of positive effects initially in holding children back or delaying their kindergarten entrance. Much of the research doesn't take into account social aspects of holding a child back. As Summer clearly stated, she wished that she had not been held back and that she were in second grade with the rest of her friends. One thing is for sure, I have noticed that Summer is a lot more motivated to even just talk about school, which is something that was very difficult a year ago. She has definitely become more motivated to do schoolwork, and she will even sit down with you and discuss some of her favorite parts of school, not just recess.